The grand hall of the celestial throne was a symphony of light and silence. Ambassador Kalen of Earth stood amidst a delegation of far more imposing species, feeling distinctly ordinary. His role was ceremonial, a polite nod to humanity's recent membership in the Galactic Concordance. The true negotiations concerning trade routes through the Sol system happened in rooms he was not permitted to enter. His eyes, like everyone else's, were drawn to the center of the hall. Upon the living sapphire throne sat the Queen of the Vilair. She was a figure of awe, her species renowned for their crystalline biology and immense physical power. Her form was humanoid, but that was where any familiarity ended. Her body seemed sculpted from polished obsidian and amethyst, catching the light in a mesmerizing dance. Geometric patterns of internal energy, soft gold and blue, traced paths beneath her surface. It was not a body of flesh, but of solidified artistry and formidable strength. A murmur, half fear, half admiration, always preceded her. Kalen was a student of xenoculture. He knew the Vilair valued directness and saw elaborate flattery as a sign of deceit. As the Queen concluded her address, a profound silence fell. The protocol demanded a representative from each delegation offer a single formal compliment before departure. The insectoid star diplomat clicked about her wisdom. The hulking stone-like graven rumbled about her dynasty's endurance. Then it was Kellen's turn. All his prepared phrases about wisdom and grace evaporated. His human brain, wired to appreciate form and function, overrode diplomatic training. He met the four luminous, faceted eyes of the sovereign. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice clear in the quiet, "I must offer a compliment not to your wisdom or station, but to your physique. It is a remarkable testament to the artistry of evolution. The harmony of your structural form is breathtaking." A shock wave of silence, deeper than before, gripped the hall. No one complimented the Queen's physique. It was considered intrusive, a focus on the shell rather than the being within. Several aides visibly flinched. The graven ambassador let out a low grind of stone. Kellen's own attach went pale. The Queen's head tilted. The light within her crystal form pulsed once, slowly. She rose from her throne, standing a full head taller than the tallest graven. She moved with a fluid, graceful power that made the floor vibrate slightly. She descended the dais steps, the assembly parting before her like grass before a wind, until she stood before the frozen human. Her voice was not a sound, but a vibration felt in the bones, translated by the implants in his ear. "The human ambassador finds my form aesthetically pleasing?" Kalen, his mouth dry, could only nod. "Yes, Your Majesty. It is a pinnacle of functional beauty." "Functional beauty," she echoed, the vibration thoughtful. Then she extended a hand, the crystalline fingers catching the light like prisms. "Would you like to see it up close?" Kalen froze. Every protocol, every warning, every nightmare of interstellar incidents flashed before his eyes. This was a trap, a test, a prelude to being shattered for his impertinence. He saw his career ending, Earth's trade deal collapsing. But within that fear, a stubborn human curiosity sparked. She had asked a direct question. The Vilair valued directness. He swallowed. "The honor would be immense, Your Majesty." A ripple went through the crowd. This was unprecedented. The Queen turned and walked toward a private antechamber. After a second's hesitation, Kalen followed, ignoring the wide-eyed stare of his attach. The doors sealed behind them, leaving them in a smaller chamber with a viewport overlooking the nebula that was the Vilair home. She turned to face him. "Your compliment was unusual. Most fear my form. They see only its capacity for destruction. They speak of my mind, my lineage, as if this," she gestured to herself, "is merely a vessel to be ignored. You see the vessel itself. On Earth, Kalen said carefully. "We have a history of appreciating form. A sculptor, an engineer, they would both look at you and see a masterpiece. The sculptor would see the lines, the play of light. The engineer would admire the seamless integration of structure, power, and likely sensory systems. My compliment was from both perspectives." The Queen was silent for a long moment. "Explain this engineering perspective." Emboldened, Kalen pointed a respectful finger toward her arm. "The joint articulation there. It appears seamless, yet must allow for a tremendous range of motion and transfer immense force. The density gradient from your core to your extremities suggests a perfect balance between stability and mobility. The internal energy channels serve both as a circulatory system and a visible indicator of your emotional or physical state. It is efficient, elegant." He continued, speaking of tensile strength, of light refraction properties, of hydrodynamic design in a species that likely evolved in high-pressure environments. He was not a top-tier scientist, but he knew enough. He spoke not as a flatterer, but as an appreciator. The Queen listened, her light pulsing in unfamiliar rhythms. "Fascinating," she finally vibrated. "You are the first to see beyond the threat. You look at a weapon and see. A well-made tool. A piece of art." She stepped closer. "Your own physique is fragile, limited, yet your species compensates with a mind that seeks to understand, not just dominate or fear." She raised her hand, and for a heart-stopping moment, Kalen thought she would touch him. Instead, she held it near his face, allowing him to see the intricate, fractal patterns within the crystal. "This functional beauty, as you call it, is a product of my world's crushing depths and volcanic fury. Your beauty is one of adaptable softness and relentless thought. It is a different kind of strength." Kalen understood. This was not an interrogation. It was a cultural exchange of the most personal kind. "We are a young species, Your Majesty. We break easily. So we learn to bend and to fix what breaks. Perhaps that is why we look at something unbreakably strong with such wonder." The Queen's light shifted to a warmer amber hue. A sign of approval, he hoped. "Your directness has pleased me, human. You have given me a new lens through which to view myself. For that, you have my thanks." She turned back to the viewport. "The trade negotiations regarding your soul system. The Graven are pushing for exclusive rights, citing your species' fragility as a need for stewardship." Kellen's heart sank. Here it was. "I find," the Queen continued, "that I disagree. A species whose ambassador can look upon the Velair form and see artistry rather than just armament is not fragile. It is perceptive. That perception is a strategic resource the Graven lack. The Concordance will benefit more from a partner who seeks to understand than one who seeks only to control. I will cast my vote in favor of Earth's proposed non-exclusive corridor plan." The relief was so profound it left Kalen lightheaded. "Your Majesty, I do not know what to say." "Say nothing of this meeting," she vibrated, the amber light glinting. "Simply return to your delegation. The formal announcement will be made tomorrow." She led him back to the doors. As they opened, the entire hall stared, hundreds of eyes and sensors fixed upon them. The Queen addressed the assembly, her voice regal and final. "The human ambassador has offered a perspective most unique. The audience is concluded." Kalen walked back to his spot, his legs steady only through force of will. His attach hissed. "What happened? What did she do?" "She listened," Kalen said simply. The next day, the trade proposal passed. The human delegation was elated, baffled by the unexpected support from the Vylar Queen. Only Kalen understood. Weeks later, as he prepared to depart, a small sealed crystal case was delivered to his quarters. Inside, on a bed of silky nebula dust, was a single flawless shard of obsidian amethyst. its inner light pulsing with a soft, steady amber glow. There was no note. None was needed. He had complimented the queen's physique. In return, she had shown him that true strength lies not in being unbreakable, but in having the clarity to see the beauty in different kinds of strength. And in that exchange, between fragility and fortitude, a human had not frozen in fear, but had opened a door for all of mankind.